I'm gonna be real with you. I feel mildly delirious and like I probably shouldn't be filming this day because I am menstruating and it is not pleasant. And I'm gonna be real, I normally don't film try on videos around that time, as you can imagine, because I feel like a blood cow. But I'm just feeling manic enough to just do it. So we're just gonna do it. I'm just enjoying this seated moment for a few seconds more. I made a matcha latte and it's pretty good. Okay, I'm gonna be like really brave and put the chair away. It's there for emotional support, but I'm gonna stand like the proper YouTube lady that I am. Hi everyone, it is Lucy, and today we're gonna be putting a Shop Cider to the test because I have had enough of two things. Number one, of the ads that I keep getting. I was resistant, but also so curious because I also have obviously, like many of you, seen all the Instagram posts and all the aforementioned ads, and I just thought, I wanna know. Can you show me? I want to know about strangers like me. Phil Collins. Nothing hits as hard as that line in Two Worlds, One Family where he's just like, a paradise untouched by man. Like, it's just way louder than the rest of the song. I did want to name my little brother Tarzan when I was a kid. True Phil Collins fan. Anyway, sick of those cider ads. And the second thing that is absolutely driving me bonkers, slightly spare, is, can you... I'll boost the audio if I need to. So I think we've had some new neighbours move in, or maybe they're not new neighbours, but regardless, there's a new baby in the area and that's very cute and I love that for them, and that's not really been a problem. I also, like, I don't care. Like, they're babies, okay? Don't get mad at a baby. It's a baby, it can't help it. And don't get mad at the parents. They're parents and they have a baby. That's just my feels. I would just like to, I put myself in their situation and think about what it'd be like if I had just a little meat sack screaming uncontrollably, and just empathy is always the best option. However, they have this stock piano track they've been using. So I Shazammed it, and it's essentially a soothing track for little babies, which is really cute, but they're just playing the same one on the loop. And you know what, if that's the only way that they can get the baby to relax and sleep, that's totally fine, but it's in the deepest recesses of my brain. It's been probably 2-3 days now. I also work from home and my office is where I can hear it. Oh my god, it started again! So let's get into Shop Cider. Shop Cider is this Instagrammable, Gen Z, more on the affordable side of clothing. It's an online store. I did have to quickly fact check something with my little phone here, because basically I wanted to kind of chat about and discuss the rumors around cider being a scam. I mean, we still have to try on and review the clothes, but obviously they're here, so there's that. And this is mainly due to the fact that people have been able to find the items on these websites on places like AliExpress and Taobao. Look, I'm gonna be real, just my 2 cents on it. I think of them more as curation services, and that you are getting a nicer and more pleasurable buying experience than if you were to shop on AliExpress or Taobao. Whether they got the clothes directly from the factory themselves and they have a working relationship with the factory that happens to be the same factory that retails to an independent AliExpress or Taobao store, that's sort of how I think of it. Because one thing slightly different that I've noticed compared to other online stores, you know, like UVMe, like Unzi, which they definitely buy stuff from different factories, etc., because you have different tags in your items. The Shop Cider items all have a cider tag in them. Now, it's not very difficult to sew a tag in something, but that at least communicates to me that there is either A, working relationship with those individual factories or a factory, or B, that those things are then taken to a centralized warehouse where they are finished with cider's finishings, like swing tags and labels. And that's consistent across all the clothes, whereas sometimes when you buy from online stores, there'll just be a random tag that says, you know, fashion, lounge, beauty, Excelsior. You know, that's not where you bought it from. So there is at least some centralizing of the process. And I'm not an undercover reporter. I can't tell you exactly where they're getting their clothes from. Do they have those same items on AliExpress? Just from looking up a couple of the items here, yes, you can find them on AliExpress, and yes, they are a little bit cheaper. That's not me deep diving into, for example, the shipping costs and how long it would take to ship. Do I think that the items from AliExpress would be the same as the type you would order from Shop Cider. I'm not totally sure, because even with places like AliExpress, they can have 6 of the same item with different sellers and they still might be different between them. It's kind of hard to say because you can see 6 of the same dress all at slightly different price points, and it would be hard to tell you if they're all going to be the same unless you actually bought them all. So I think the real benefit with something like Cider is that someone has gone through and done all of the browsing and selecting of certain designs for you, and hopefully, as we'll see when we try things on, hopefully they've also made sure that the quality is relatively up to scratch as well, and making sure you're getting the best version of those things. Does that kind of make sense? Their website was pretty easy to navigate. I would say very standard, you know, online shopping website. I wish they had some more filters. The way they kind of separated it all into categories, I wish there was a way to sort by maybe size or color, because there are certain colors I know I'm probably just not going to be interested in. Not super extended sizing, but then if we're comparing it to AliExpress and Taobao, I would say it's slightly better, but still not amazing. Hoping they're going to expand that in the future. If you want to know what size I am in any of these items, I'm a medium in all of them. Well, that's the one I picked anyway. We'll see if they actually work out. That would be bad. The only other thing I wanted to mention was that when I shopped for everything that was in stock. But interestingly enough, they shipped the first portion of my order and then 2 items were going to come separately. So they were just maybe not as in stock, or the stock was on its way. So I had my first order shipped out, and then my second order, which had 2 pieces, was waiting, and then one of them just got cancelled because they just didn't have it anymore. It's not really a big deal. It's nothing that I'm super fussed about. I did have this kind of pink love heart skirt, which I thought would be cute to review, but that was just then out of stock. So it was good that they automatically refunded me and everything, but then the dress just came on its own, in its own bag. I mean, I guess, you know, if you want all your pieces to be shipped as quickly as possible after you order them, I think that's a good system. But I probably wouldn't have minded if they just waited until my whole order was ready and then shipped it together. Just something I thought I'd mention, because I know I've seen people talk about how the shipping takes ages and ages. I didn't think it was too bad. The first chunk of my order, which was the bulk of it, came really quickly. And it was only the second part that took a little bit longer. It was kind of random. But, you know, I think we've done as much surface level investigating as we can do without actually trying on the clothes. So I'm just gonna start trying on the clothes now. I feel like I'm wearing the most normie outfit. I look like a sim. So. I'm just a little bit delirious, okay? I got a lot of ibuprofen working and I honestly really want a nap, but I'm powering through because I know I feel really good about it and definitely not bloated and sad. Alright, I'm gonna take off the cardigan because I'm starting to get all clammy, and let's try on one of these cute items. Let's go. So popped on the first item. I was gonna say all of the item names, but half of them are cute kind of names and the other half are just floral printed knit crop top. So all the details will be down below. First impressions and overall vibe I enjoy. I don't know, I just think the color and the sort of vibe is quite cute. The cut is quite nice, you know, a little oversized, but not too baggy and oversized. It still kind of gives a nice bit of shape. It's just the right size for high-waisted jeans. The one thing I want to mention is that this has a puff sleeve here. It's got some little, you know, puffy details, but on this one, it's sort of not. It's kind of wonky. The way it's been sewn just on the top is just slightly wonky, which I don't totally love. I don't think this is a ludicrous amount of money to pay for a knit top. 33 Australian dollars, you know, it's not just a $10 white t-shirt. However, would I have liked it to be sort of sewn on properly? Perhaps. I mean, look, it's not bad at all, but it is these sort of little things that you kind of notice and it just makes you fall slightly out of love with it. I'm not obsessed with it. I don't think it's, you know, the best thing since sliced bread, but it's sort of casual, it's kind of fun, a little bit of color. I don't know. I think if it had a couple more details design-wise, maybe some cuffs on the sleeves or kind of a contrast band, something. I'm not overly jazzed by it, but I think it's fine, and I think it is the item that I purchased minus a point for the slightly wonky kind of weirdly not puff sleeves. I think that's just a bit strange. But it does have styling capabilities, you know? I feel feel a white skirt could be really cute with some chunky sneakers. I think it's nice and casual, as the polo top is want to do. It just adds kind of this preppy casualness to a look, which is very much in my vein of style. So, oh, the color is also nice, by the way. I think sometimes these greens can look really gross, but this one's quite nice. A very matcha latte kind of soft green. I enjoy that. Okay, I'm done with this one now. Let's move to the next item. So originally I wanted to pair this one with the kind of pink heart skirt, this one here, which didn't end up coming, but that's okay. But we're just gonna do it with jeans. But I do want to say, this one feels quite a bit nicer than the last one. It feels a bit thicker, a bit softer, and just kind of a nicer weight to it, nicer quality. And when I slipped it over, it's a bit more of a fitted kind of cut, so it just feels cuter. Obviously over the jeans, it's not the most aesthetic look. Maybe if I tuck it in. Okay, now I look like someone who would referee a kid's baseball game or something like that, but we're just gonna, well, let's just go with it. I love the detail of the collar. I think that is super cute. And I love the detail on the arms as well. The overall quality of this one just feels a slight step up. This is actually the same price as this buddy here. It's $33.29 to be specific. And whereas with this one, I was kind of feeling a little bit sus, feeling a little bit ambiguous on the price point. Not that I think it's not a $33 top, I think it is, but just because some of the finishings were a bit weird, just a little bit wonky. Even just looking at the back of it now, the sleeves are just sewn completely differently. This one, I would say, feels about half a star to 3/4 of a star nicer in quality, just in terms of feel. Also, so far I haven't noticed any flaws or anything of that, especially because the collar is an asymmetric design and it's a very big feature of the design. If this was wrong, it would just render the piece kind of not pointless, okay, because it's still a functioning garment. You know what I mean? If you're designing an item around a certain feature point and then that doesn't work, you want to have a little chat, perhaps. You might want to, you know, speak to the manager about that. But I do think this is cute, and I think, again, the styling opportunities with this would be really cute. I just think this is really fun and unique. I haven't seen anything like it. I mean, I did look it up and you can get it on AliExpress and Taobao, but I hadn't seen anything like it until I saw it on the Shop Cider website. I just think this is a really cute and fun piece, and I think is very much an indicator to me of why people like shopping on Shop Cider, because this isn't something that I've seen anyone kind of IRL wear, and it's just a fun piece that's definitely trendy, but because it's black and white, I think it's still quite versatile, at least with my wardrobe and color palette when it comes to autumn winter. So I'm really happy with that one. I think that one is kind of more of a standout of the two polo tops that I've purchased. And see, for this, when you say $33, I'm kind of sold. I think it's very much worth it in terms of how it feels and how it looks. And that's it for tops. So now let's sort of dive in to some other categories. Okay, I honestly do not know what state of mind I was in when I styled these two items together, but let's just appreciate this. Okay, yes, love, now. Oh my gosh, these pants are horrendous. This is why I actively choose not to film things at certain hormonal periods of the timeline, my timeline, my individual uterus timeline. But I don't think even feeling a bit bloated and a bit gross and a little bit sensitive and a little bit tired would make these pants any better on a normal day, because they are horrendous. I am so sorry. I did try and order the skirt because I figured the skirt would have a higher success rate than a pair of pants, but I was really holding out for these pants. I was praying for these pants to be good. But they're really bad. I'm really struggling to describe them because I just find them deeply upsetting. I genuinely feel like there could be a supervillain plotline where their evil plot to take over the world would just be to make pants out of this material and in this specific cut, and then have people buy them and then feel bad about themselves. I haven't worked out the end yet, okay, but I don't think many of the big plot people for superhero movies do a lot of the time. So we're on the same level. So the material is actually quite stretchy, like quite stretchy, but it's also paper thin. It felt like I was putting on an elastic piece of tissue paper. I think I've worn something similar to this in a very cheap cosplay that I got off a very dodgy website when I was 14. It is a familiar feeling and not one that I wanted to have again. I was about to say maybe they're not that bad, but they are, okay? Because they feel bad and I think they look not great. They're thinner than pairs of leggings that I have, but there's not enough structural integrity to the fabric to actually kind of support and sort of make your leg look nice. It's just kind of clinging in random areas and just... ah! That is how much space I have in the back. Let me get my emotional support water bottle. There's still room. There's still room. I could fit a second one in there. There is so much room in these pants. I got them in a medium. I genuinely thought I was going to order these pants and they were just going to be super tight, super uncomfortable nightmare. But they're actually, I wouldn't say they're comfy because the material is just incredibly not it. These pants would definitely fall down if I had to walk any distance. So they are meant to be high-waisted. I thought for a moment there maybe I was being a silly goose, but I cannot understand these pants. Like, I can make them a little pigtail. This doesn't look good either. Ah! I also still don't really understand the sizing because I don't really know how I could be a small in these pants. If it's okay with you, I'd like to move on from the pants because my brain cannot comprehend them right now. Just no, material bad, fit bad, vibes bad / off. These pants were also $33. Is that an affordable price for a pair of pants? Yes. Was it worth it? No. What did it cost me? Everything. So let's move on because I really like the cardigan. Cardigan's so cute. I can just move forward to here and then, oh no, you can still see the pants. It is super cute. I have actually worn this out. I cheated, I'm sorry. But I wore it to IKEA because I feel like I deserve to wear a cute outfit to IKEA. I'll insert an Instagram story if I took one, I'm pretty sure I did. The color palette is adorable. I'm absolutely obsessed with the balloon sleeve detail and the cuffs. It's super cozy. It's made of a similar material to the white and black polo, so just kind of that slightly nicer, softer material. I would say it's comparable to some of the nicer stuff I've gotten from YesStyle. It kept me nice and toasty in the IKEA air conditioning. I didn't wear anything underneath it, I just sort of wore it as a top and I found that worked pretty well. And the length of the sleeves is nice as well. I think sometimes when you buy things from online stores, and again, depending on where things are made and depending on how the size chart is done, things will be too short on your arms. If you're into Japanese and Korean fashion and you don't tend to fit into their size charts, you've probably experienced that as well. You just tend to get slightly shorter arms on things. But I think the arm length is quite nice. Maybe like the tiniest touch short, but not really. I think it's pretty perfect, to be honest. And again, the finishing, little hem. I like the crop length as well. I don't have anything bad to say about this. This was $40.22, so actually only $1 more than the crop tops and the torture devices. So I actually think that's a really good steal, and I just think it looks really good. I feel good in it. It's something that I'm excited about wearing. I was excited enough to kind of take it away from its packaged friends to wear out because I just thought it looked really cute, and yeah. So I'm really into the cardigan. I think that's super duper gorgeous. So this dress, I had to spend a little bit of a time in the mirror just finessing it to kind of make it look sort of what it looks like in the picture. I got a little bit confused with the waist ties. It was a whole thing, but I think I figured it out. I think this is how they've done it on the website. So this is the green asymmetrical dress. I have dresses similar to this one, and I like them a lot more. It's just made with a very thin t-shirt material that does make me feel a little bit self-conscious. You can kind of just see everything. It's just a really thin material. It's not uncomfortable. It's not super soft either. It's just thin t-shirt material, but it's a dress. That's the deal with that. The color is okay. I'm trying really hard to think of something productive to say about this, but I don't honestly have a lot to say. It's $33.60, so kind of the same price as these tops. Kind of thought this would be more, but also it shouldn't be because it's not the best quality. I think owning dresses similar to this in a similar cut and even a similar color, but of a much nicer fit, does kind of, mean that I have a preconceived bias against this dress because I have a much nicer version of it, so this is going to be compared to that. And this dress is $33, so quite a bit more on the affordable side compared to other dresses I own. For me, I would pay double this knowing that I could wear it, because I don't think I would ever really want to wear this outside, simply because it just makes me feel incredibly self-conscious. And I'm going to back myself up. I don't actually think I look that bad in this dress. I think it looks fine. I just feel that I'm not feeling very supported because the material is just so thin that when I'm walking, I feel like I'm going to be trying to hold myself in a different way, which isn't enjoyable to do. It's not really comfortable to do for life. Yes, I love a fashion moment. Yes, I love wearing cute things. I do not want to sacrifice my general comfort and joie de vivre. Joy de vivre?
Are you happy to be in Paris?
Oui.
So I'm actually a little bit disappointed because I was really hoping that this would be kind of, you know, a really great affordable option for this style of dress. And with a bodycon dress, you know, you really do want to have elements there that do make you feel confident and comfortable. And I don't think it has enough of those elements, unfortunately. It's a shame. Also, these strings just feel like shoelaces. The back is just, you can see the seam of my undergarments. It's not horrendous, it's not a fashion crime. I just think it's not something I would recommend to a friend, and you're my pals. So I would just gently maybe advise you against this one. Okay, I was ready to not like this at all, but then I looked in the mirror and I actually think it's kind of cute. It's kind of good. So this little white cherry bow ruffle two-piece set was $47.16 Australian dollars. 47 for these two pieces I think is a really good deal. I don't think they are the most amazing quality. Like, I'm not crazy impressed with the quality per se, but for 47 to get a two-piece that looks as nice as this kind of seems to look, at least on the viewfinder and in the brief time I looked in the mirror, I think it looks good. I think. There are a few little fine points that I've noticed that I will bring up in a second, but overall I think this is quite cute. But I just think that this is actually, yeah, a lot more flattering than I expected it to be. I don't know why I thought that their sizing might be weird. I just thought we were gonna have a lot more sizing issues. I mean, we did have the pants, but overall I was just, I don't know, I was kind of waiting for something to just be way too small or way too big, but so far everything seems to have been pretty okay. In terms of the few things I noticed, I love the sleeves, by the way. They're just really nice and puffy. They have a good amount of extra fabric in them to actually give them a puff. Sometimes puff sleeves are just not puff sleeves. They're just sort of slightly ill-fitting sleeves. I mean, it's not the same. I feel like, oh, I just lost my balance there. I just kind of did a little ball change. Very classy, very subtle. But it's kind of reminding me of some of the stuff that For Love and Lemons do, which is why I picked it. Obviously, I'm sure the For Love and Lemons stuff is a lot nicer, and I have a For Love and Lemons dress, and it's gorgeous, really nice quality. Probably not on that level, and shouldn't be, because their price point is totally different to this, but in terms of style and aesthetic, it does remind me of that for sure. I would like to see this neckline be slightly different, just on me. I think sometimes I prefer a kind of wider neckline, something like that, maybe a bit more of a vintage style, something like that. Maybe that's something I could alter though. I don't hate it as it is. I think that's also quite cute, but I do think there's potential for it to be cuter. And I don't think we should deny ourselves our full potential. Now, I'm not going to show you, but there is actually a pair of those sort of little mini shorts under the skirt that are built into the skirt, which when I saw them, when I took it out of the bag and I saw that they had shorts built into them, I was miffed. Because I have had that experience in tennis skirts that I bought from, you know, Korean websites and Yes Style and all those places, and they just usually cut into my thigh because as per my hip proportions to the thighs that save lives, they tend to not love the constriction of a short that is built for someone with smaller thighs than mine. It's fine, but it does annoy me sometimes when the waist of the skirt fits and the length is right and the hips are right and everything, and then there's just a plasticky pair of synthetic shorts that, you know, you either have to cut out, which feels like you're ruining a garment that doesn't need to be ruined, but you can't really wear it with the shorts in because they're just super uncomfortable. And I get why they're in them and I get why people like them, but a lot of the time they don't work out for me. These are actually fine so far. And where some of the safety shorts try and come down on your thigh, they're essentially sort of like a second pair of underpants, but slightly longer, almost like a pair of boxer briefs. I guess. And they're just there to give a bit of extra coverage because the skirt is quite short. I actually don't hate them in this case. I actually think it's kind of nice. It just feels like a little extra layer of security because the skirt is also a little bit sheer. So it kind of gives that extra bit of lining. Didn't think I'd ever say that, to be completely honest. I normally hate them with a burning passion, but they actually feel fine in this case. And because they're not cutting into my thigh in an uncomfortable way, because they're not impeding my wearing of the garment, I can let it go. Again, they're not really doing a lot though. They're not connected to the skirt and keeping it pulled down. They're just there as a lining. The skirt is quite sheer and you actually can sort of see the lining. I don't know, this one was definitely a gamble for me. I really liked it and I think style-wise I was ready for it, but I was kind of nervous how it was going to turn out, but I actually think it's turned out really cute. But let me know what you think, because I think I could definitely style this with a cute, you know, straw sun hat and a little tote bag and a really nice bright red lip gloss. Just super vintage vibes. Ooh, yeah, I actually rate this set. I was kind of ready to not love it, but putting it on, kind of wearing it, I'm kind of feeling the vibe. Just cottagecore, summer princess energy. I'll gladly take some of that energy because I'm gonna need another Nurofen. Okay, and here is the final item. I just saw this on the website and from the initial picture, which was this one, I couldn't really see that it was kind of sparkly, but then I think when I went through the website again, just trying to be thorough, see if there's anything else cute there, I saw this and I clicked through, I saw that it was a sparkly dream and I just thought maybe this would be really cute. And to be honest, I think it's almost there. The actual material, this kind of iridescent, glittery fabric is really cute and the ruching is nice, it feels nice and comfy, it's got a nice bit of stretch to it, so it's actually quite a comfy party dress to wear, and I like the length too. It's not super duper short. It's feeling good. I just want it to be a bit more cinched in. Like if we just had that cinched, maybe even if I kind of did it more in that sort of bow style. Like yeah, this cut here at the top is just not, it's just a bit not really doing a lot for me. Needed to be like, you know, really the whole thing. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of feel like Ariel when she comes out of the sea at the end of Little Mermaid in that really sparkly dress. Oh my gosh, is not everyone obsessed with that dress? That dress is kind of my dream dress. I'm sorry, it's stunning. I'm not saying this is exactly the same, but it's kind of given me that, you know how at the Disney parks when they do the different versions of Ariel, they have, you know, the Ariel in the green blue dress, and then I think they have Ariel in the pink dress. This is Ariel in the clubbing dress. Disney parks, call me, I'm here. I have 2 business degrees. I work in marketing. This dress was $38.83. $38.83. And to get a dress like this in a store, good one Lucy, huge brain, to get a dress like this in a store, money can be exchanged for goods and services. To get a dress similar to this in a brick and mortar retail store where I live, you would be paying at least $50, if not more than that. I would actually genuinely, and I don't say this about a lot of these clothes because sometimes if they don't fit properly, I'm kind of just ready to release them into the wild to be rehomed with someone who will fit them and love them beautifully. Love them beautifully. My brain is, thank you to ibuprofen, the sponsor of today's video. What I'm saying is, a lot of the time, you know, I could get something tailored and I could get it fixed, but maybe I just don't really feel enough love with it. I don't really feel enough of affinity to go to that effort. And if it's not really something that I can use in a productive way or return, I'd much rather give it to a friend or pop it on Depop or donate it. You know, one of those 3 options is fine for me. This one though, you know, even though it's not fitting perfectly, I would, and I do feel compelled to take it to a tailor and get them to just take it in and zhuzh it, because I actually really like this dress. I'd be happy to spend, you know, the $20 or $30 to kind of really make it fit nicely. There's just something really playful about it that reminds me of those dress-up games that I used to play, and I'd always pick the sparkliest, most over-the-top, glamorous dresses because that's just what I was into, and I'm still into that. And I want to create occasions to wear it with some little strappy silver heels. And there's diamantes on the strap. I'll come closer. You stay right there. I'll come closer and show you the diamantes on the strap. I'm coming. Oh my gosh, come on, so cute. Anyway, it's not perfect and I would change a few bits of it, but I do really like it. And I think that's a nice little, I was about to say an amuse-bouche, but that's what you eat at the start of the meal. It's not really a palate cleanser. I think petit fours, the things at the end, is a nice way to finish off our video, I think, because that's it. So overall, I actually don't think the hit rate was too bad. Bar a couple of pieces, so the pants I hated. They were really awful. The dress, the green dress, this guy here, I don't love it. I just don't think the quality was quite up to scratch, but the price point wasn't super high, but I still wouldn't recommend you to buy it. That doesn't absolve it of its sins. And then medium was the green top, which I thought was cute enough, but did have kind of a flaw to the way it was made, which we don't love. And then this dress, I would put it in the medium pile technically because there are some things I want to change. For the price point, even including tailoring, I think it's still really worth it. I just think it's really fun and special. I'm probably biased because it's just very over-the-top glamour princess fairy, but this is also my channel and I'm entirely biased about all things because everything is my opinion. So then I'm going to put this in the good category because I think it's good. Otherwise, the cherry two-piece set was super adorable and kind of an unexpected surprise, and at that price point I thought it was really good. The black and white polo top, the cardigan, they were also really good. So overall, is Shop Cider a scam? No, I don't think so. I got all the clothes that I paid for. The one item that didn't arrive, they refunded me for. It's not a scam. It's not a scam. Are some of the pieces better quality than others? Yes. Some of the pieces I think are really great quality for the price you're paying, other pieces less so, but I wouldn't say I had any more of a hit and miss rate compared to, you know, any other major online retailers. But I do think that some of the item selection and kind of the overall vibe was a lot more interesting and exciting than some of your more typical online retailers. I just found a lot more stuff that I was intrigued by and excited by, but I would definitely shop at Shop Cider again. One tip I did just want to mention is that they actually have some really great reviews on the Cider website, so double check those when you're looking at items as well. Not everything has one, but there were a few items where I was sort of on the fence and the reviews really helped me decide, and they were really good, informative reviews. So highly recommend that. Plus, obviously check Instagram and tagged pictures so you can see what it looks like on different people, because sometimes they don't have photos of their items on models, which can make it a little bit different to tell sort of what the item is like. But I think that is quite enough for this crampy little baby. And actually, speaking of babies, I think they've stopped the music. I think it's gone to sleep. Good for them. Let me know down below which of the items you thought were most interesting and if you would shop Cider. Also, if you have any other online websites you'd like me to test out and try and review for this channel, let me know, because I'm a keen bean. I'm enjoying my investigative duties. What was that? What was that one? As always, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!